When 16-year-old Jake Martinez sees Barron Trump in danger, he makes a split-second decision that costs him his job. Little does he know, that single act of courage will unravel a criminal network, reveal shocking secrets hidden in plain sight, and change his life forever. Stay with us to see how one teenager's moral compass leads him down a path of unexpected challenges and even more surprising rewards. Before we jump in, let me know in the comments where you're watching from. And if you haven't yet, hit that subscribe button to help us reach our goal of 1,000 subscribers. Life sometimes tests us when we least expect it. For 16-year-old Jake Martinez, those tests pile up early each morning. He's an only child supporting his mother, Maria Martinez, who is struggling with health issues and mounting medical bills. Each day, Jake wakes at dawn to head to Sterling Mall, where he sells high-end watches at Morrison's Luxury Watches. Little does he know, a single choice in that glimmering mall will turn his world upside down. Jake's day begins with a 5:30 a.m. alarm screeching in the dim glow of their cramped apartment. He quickly silences it to avoid waking his mother, whose cough seems worse each day. A note on the small kitchen table reads, "Mijo, I made you some breakfast. Don't forget to pack lunch. Love you." He can't help but smile at her neat handwriting, though worry tugs at him when he imagines a stack of hospital bills hidden in her drawer. After a quick breakfast burrito, Jake catches the 6:15 bus, greeting the friendly driver with a polite nod. A text from his friend Carlos pings. "Basketball practice at 4. Coach wants you there." Jake sighs. He can't attend. The extra shifts at the watch store are more critical than ever. Jake steps off the bus, entering the sleek corridors of Sterling Mall. Polished floors and crystal chandeliers reflect a world of luxury he rarely sees at home. At a small coffee stand near the employee entrance, he notices a young barista, Maria. Coincidentally the same name as his mom, though she looks about Jake's age or slightly older. She greets him warmly. "Barista Maria, morning, Jake. Ready for another busy day?" Jake, smiling, "I guess so. Gotta pay the bills." He likes her friendly demeanor, but doesn't know much else about her. She's always there before most employees, quietly observing everyone who passes by. Jake hurries on, clocking in at Morrison's Luxury Watches. Mr. Morrison, the owner, waits at the front with a clipboard, a man of impeccable grooming. He keeps his dark hair slicked back and his suits pressed perfectly. He greets Jake with an even tone. "Mr. Morrison, right on time. We have a new shipment coming. Handle the inventory as soon as possible." Jake, respectful, "Yes, sir. I'll get right on it." Jake has worked here for 6 months, drawn by the possibility of high commissions. He's good with details and has a knack for learning each watch's history. But there's always been something about Mr. Morrison that sets Jake on edge. Calls behind locked doors, odd glances at certain customers. Still, Jake never questions it. He needs the job. If you're not already subscribed, help us hit 1,000 subscribers. We rely on your support to keep these stories coming. The morning unfolds in a routine manner. Wealthy clients drift in to try on watches worth more than some people's annual income. Jake remains polite, showing each model with genuine enthusiasm. By lunchtime, he's sold a pricey timepiece to a visiting businessman. He's relieved to imagine the commission, small though it may be, going toward his mom's medication. On his break, Jake heads to the food court with a modest container of rice and beans. Checking his phone, he sees a text from his mom, reminding him to pick up her prescription. He counts the cash in his pocket, just enough, if he's careful. He finishes quickly and hurries back to the store. Inside Morrison's, Jake arranges a fresh display. The store's glass walls allow him a full view of the corridor. That's when he notices a tall, teenage boy around his age, scanning the mall as though looking for someone. The boy looks oddly familiar, dressed in high-end clothes but oddly anxious. Suddenly, 2 men in dark hoodies appear, trailing behind the boy at a short distance. They seem out of place in an upscale mall. One keeps a hand in his pocket, as if hiding something. The other glances around nervously. A jolt of realization hits Jake. That boy is Barron Trump. Jake has seen him on the news. Where is Barron's security detail? The 2 hooded men drift closer, shadows of menace in their eyes. Jake's heart races. Should he call mall security? Inform Mr. Morrison? But there's no time. The men are nearly upon Barron. Jake, thinking, I have to do something. If I don't, who will? He takes a breath and glances at Mr. Morrison, who stands near the register, phone to his ear, clearly in a tense conversation. If Jake leaves without permission, he'll be breaking store policy, risking the job that pays for his mom's medical bills. Yet the memory of her coughing face flashes in his mind, followed by the sight of Barron, who suddenly looks very alone. Jake's decision is made. Help first, worry later. Jake sets aside the watch in his hand, steps out of the store, and walks toward Barron. Maintaining a casual tone, he greets him like an old friend. Jake, loudly, hey, I've been looking all over for you. We're going to be late. Barron looks confused. Jake leans in and whispers, Jake, those two guys are following you. I think you're in danger. Please trust me. Alarmed, Barron nods subtly. They head down a side corridor reserved for employees. Jake still has his store key card, which lets him access a service hallway. As soon as they slip inside, the door slams open behind them. The men in hoodies follow, quickening their steps. Jake, run. The corridor is long, lined with concrete walls, overhead pipes, and industrial lighting. Barron nearly trips, but Jake steadies him as they dash for the exit that leads to the mall security office. Footsteps thunder behind them. One of the men shouts, Stop. Jake's lungs burn, but he forces himself faster. If they can just get to the security office. They round a corner, and mall security bursts into view. A half-dozen uniformed guards plus several men in suits who instantly reveal themselves as Secret Service agents. Agent, to Barron, are you hurt? Where's your detail? Barron, catching his breath, I'm okay, thanks to him. The hooded men skid to a halt. One tries to escape, but the agents move swiftly, some giving chase, others swarming around Barron. Jake is left standing in a blur of adrenaline. Agent, to Jake, how did you know? Who are you? Jake stammers that he works at Morrison's Watches and recognizes Barron. Another agent quietly speaks into a radio. Soon, they usher Jake into a back office for questioning. Barron is whisked away to safety. After repeated rounds of questions, what did you see? Why did you intervene? They finally let Jake go. Heart pounding, he rushes back upstairs to Morrison's Watches. To his shock, the gates are halfway down, lights dimmed. Mr. Morrison stands by the entrance, expression grim. Mr. Morrison, Jake, you abandoned the store for nearly an hour. This is a serious policy violation. There's over $2 million worth of merchandise here. Jake, pleading, I saw someone in danger. I couldn't just stand by. Sir, please, I need this job. Mr. Morrison, coldly, policy is policy. You can't be trusted if you walk off. You're fired, effective immediately. Jake's stomach drops. The job was his lifeline, the only steady paycheck for rent and his mother's medication. As Mr. Morrison stalks away, Jake is left reeling. He saved someone's life, and now he's jobless. Jake heads home, forced to walk since he's missed the last bus. The normally short route feels endless. Images of the chase in the corridor replay in his mind. His phone pings with a text from his mother, asking if he picked up her prescription. He winces, knowing he couldn't afford it now and the pharmacy is closed. At his front door, he braces himself, unsure how to break the news. Inside, his mother is waiting, her face lined with exhaustion. She clutches a hospital letter, eyes brimming with tears. Mother, softly, they say we owe more. Me, Joe. If we can't make payments, I'll be cut off from more tests. Jake, hesitant, Mom, I lost my job today. She's stunned. He explains everything. Spotting Barron Trump in trouble, deciding to help, and being fired. A tear slides down his mother's cheek, but she hugs him tightly. Mother, you did the right thing. We'll figure something out. Jake's phone suddenly rings. A blocked number. Nervously, he answers. Voice on phone. Jake Martinez? This is James Cooper with the Secret Service. We have new information. We're sending a team to your location. Please don't leave your apartment. The line cuts. Jake's mother looks at him in alarm. Within minutes, there's a knock. 3 agents step in, scanning the shabby apartment. They introduce themselves as Agents Taylor, Chun, and Rodriguez. Agent Taylor, quiet urgency. The men who follow Barron are part of a larger network. We suspect they know you interfered. Mother, scared. He's just a boy. Why target him? Agent Chun, they failed a kidnapping attempt on the president's son, and your son got in the way. They see him as a threat. Jake feels a chill. The agent continues. Agent Rodriguez, there may be accomplices inside the mall, people who helped them track Barron's movements. We need your help, Jake. You notice something nobody else caught. Jake tries to process this, remembering the suspicious phone calls Mr. Morrison always took. Before he can speak, Agent Taylor gets an alert on her phone. Agent Taylor. Jake, a video of you helping Barron is all over social media. You've gone viral. People are calling you a hero and calling out Morrison's watches for firing you. Jake checks his phone. Post after post demands justice. The hashtag #HireJake trends. In the midst of supportive comments, he also spotted a threat from an unknown user. Should have stayed out of it. Before anyone can respond, the apartment lights flicker. Outside, tires screech. Shouts echo down the hallway. Agents Chun and Rodriguez move into defensive positions. Agent Taylor, urgent, we have to get you both out, now. The front door rattles. Moments later, it bursts open. Two masked intruders appear, guns raised. Gunfire erupts, and Jake dives to protect his mother behind a small couch. The agents return fire, subduing one intruder while the other flees. Sirens wail outside as additional backup arrives. Agent Chun, move! Down the fire escape. Jake and his mother scramble onto the rickety metal platform, descending 3 floors in near darkness. A helicopter spotlight cuts through the night, and a voice booms overhead. Helicopter loudspeaker. This is the FBI. The building is surrounded. Drop your weapons. Jake and his mother are ushered into a black SUV, shielded by agents. The convoy speeds into night. They arrive at an unmarked warehouse. Inside is a hub of activity. Banks of monitors, agents tracking suspects, a wall map plastered with photos. James Cooper, the head agent Jake spoke to on the phone, greets them. Cooper, we're sorry about the chaos. We've been tracking these criminals for months. They specialize in high-profile kidnappings for ransom. We believe your boss, Mr. Morrison, is connected to them. Jake's jaw drops. Mr. Morrison, the same man who fired him that afternoon, might be part of a massive criminal ring? Cooper nods at a screen showing security footage. Sure enough, there's Mr. Morrison shaking hands with one of the hooded men. Agent Taylor, your intervention derailed their plan to snatch Barron. Now we have leads to shut them down completely. Another door opens, revealing Barron Trump, and behind him, President Trump himself. Jake's eyes widen. The president steps forward, offering a firm handshake. President Trump, my son tells me you saved his life. You sacrificed your job to help a stranger. That won't be forgotten. While Jake stands in awe, the barista from the coffee stand, Maria, enters. Looking far from a typical barista, she now wears a crisp suit and holds an FBI badge. Jake, startled you? You're FBI. Maria, smiling, undercover for the past 3 years at Sterling Mall. We suspected Mr. Morrison was running illegal operations, but we lacked proof. He was extremely careful. She explains how she'd observed Jake's honesty and kindness from day one. She even noticed him holding doors for mall cleaners or helping lost customers. When she saw Barron in the mall and recognized a suspicious pattern, she hoped Jake might intervene, and he did. Maria, you exceeded our expectations, honestly. We were in position to stop the kidnappers if it escalated, but you saved Barron first. Jake's mother is overwhelmed with relief and confusion, especially upon learning that a routine coffee shop worker was an undercover agent. But worry still lingers. Mother, how do we afford my treatments now that Jake lost his job? Agent Rodriguez, smiling, will see to that. There's a victim's assistance fund for those who help us bring down major criminal enterprises. You'll get the care you need. Jake can't believe what he's hearing. He did the right thing, lost his job, and yet a whole new world is opening before him. If you're glad to hear our stories, smash that like button and subscribe for more stories revealing how truth always rises to the surface. With your help, we'll hit 1,000. That same night, the FBI and Secret Service coordinate a raid on Morrison's watches. They seize ledgers, hidden documents, and arrest Mr. Morrison along with several associates. By dawn, the entire kidnapping ring is effectively dismantled. A phone call wakes Jake from fitful sleep at the warehouse facility. Agent Taylor, Morrison is in custody. We found detailed plans for multiple kidnappings. We also uncovered the money laundering scheme behind his watch business. Your hunches were correct. Jake's mother sits next to him, tears in her eyes, this time from relief, not despair. Later that morning, President Trump formally thanks Jake in person. Barron stands beside his father, looking both shy and grateful. President Trump, "Son, I can't repay your courage, but we can ensure you don't suffer for doing what's right." He announces that Jake's mother will receive top-tier medical support at no cost. As for Jake, a scholarship is offered. He can pursue any field he chooses. If he's interested in law enforcement, the FBI or Secret Service will be honored to have him one day. Jake is speechless. Barron steps forward. "Barron, you've already done more than I can ever repay. Maybe we can just hang out sometimes, like normal kids." Jake gives a small laugh, still stunned by the sudden shift from desperation to hope. Meanwhile, social media explodes with praise for Jake. Headlines read, "Teen hero loses job after saving president's son." Public outrage slams Morrison's watches. Many vow to boycott. Several local businesses express interest in hiring or sponsoring Jake. Even the hospital where Jake's mom worked cleaning shifts calls to say they'll waive remaining fees for her procedures. Jake scrolls through countless supportive messages. Yet it feels surreal. Just yesterday, he was a regular kid worried about bills. Now, the world knows his name. The FBI arranges temporary housing in a secure apartment complex. Jake and his mother find a modest but comfortable unit, fully stocked with groceries. Agents confirm they can stay as long as needed. Jake sits on the living room couch, watching his mother catch her breath without the usual strain. The thought of her receiving proper treatment eases his heart. "Mother, you risked everything, Mijo. I'm so proud. It's funny how doing the right thing can lead to blessings you never expected." Jake nods, images of that moment in the mall returning to him. He had a split second to act. Even though it cost him his job, it ended up saving more than just one life. Please remember to subscribe and help us reach our 1,000 subscriber milestone. We rely on your support to shine a light on these shocking stories. Over the next few days, the FBI finalizes their case against Morrison's organization. Agent Maria, the undercover barista, stops by to check on them. She congratulates Jake on his unwavering moral compass. "Maria, I've seen plenty of people ignore what's right to protect themselves. You didn't. That's why the FBI wants to offer you a path forward. No rush. Finish high school first. But if you ever want to explore a career here, I'll personally recommend you." Jake, feeling a spark of excitement, thanks her. Her presence is a reminder that extraordinary things sometimes hide in plain sight. As life settles into a new normal, Jake reflects on the whirlwind events. Courage and compassion matter. He was terrified of losing his job, but fear didn't stop him from helping Barron. True courage is doing the right thing, even if it costs you. Doing right can have costs, but also unexpected rewards. Jake lost the security of his paycheck, but gained invaluable support for his mom and a chance at a future he never imagined. Never judge by appearances. From a refined store owner secretly funding kidnappers to a humble barista who is actually an FBI agent, Jake learned that people and their motives aren't always what they seem. Small actions can change lives. One split-second decision in a mall corridor set off a chain reaction that dismantled a criminal ring and brought hope to Jake's family. With Mr. Morrison behind bars and the kidnappers caught, Jake no longer fears shadowy threats. He can focus on finishing school, helping his mother recover, and deciding if he'll take up the FBI's offer. For now, he just wants to be a normal teenager again, albeit one whose life took a heroic detour. If Jake's story inspired you, please take a moment to subscribe to our channel. By subscribing and hitting the notification bell, you'll never miss another incredible real-life story like this one. And don't forget to click the card on your screen to watch our next amazing video. You won't believe what happens in our follow-up story. Remember, sometimes the smallest act of kindness can spark life-changing events. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in our next story.